second graders. So I wanted to bring you into my kitchen tonight to do a special activity with you. So I went to the store this afternoon and I was really excited because I have never seen a desert plant in the supermarket before. So I found this really awesome plant, and I want you guys to take a guess as to what you think this plant might be similar to. A plant that we've been learning about in the desert, and it has a lot of the same characteristics. So I'm going to hold up the plant, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. So I want you to try to guess, what do you think this plant is similar to? I'm feeling along the outside of this plant, I feel a lot of sharp spikes. And then when I rub my finger along the part of the plant that doesn't have spikes, it feels very waxy. It has a very waxy coating. And remember, in the desert, the plants have to have a waxy coating. For what reason? Does anyone remember? Oh my goodness, you guys are so smart. Yeah, that's right. The plants in the desert have to have a waxy coating to keep that moisture in. Remember, it doesn't rain that much in the desert, so when it does, the plant has to keep the water in somehow. So this plant is very similar to a cactus. It has very sharp spikes, and the outside of the plant is very waxy to keep that moisture in. So this plant is actually called an aloe vera plant. And on the inside of the plant, right here, it has a very gelatinous, it's very juicy and it's very thick. It's almost like Jell-O, if you guys can think of or imagine what Jell-O feels like. Very gooey, but also if you shake it, it holds the same shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the outside surfaces of this plant off, because we don't want to eat the waxy coating, and we definitely don't want to eat the spikes. And so I did a whole bunch of research with what I could do with this specific desert plant. And one of the really cool activities that I found was that we could make a smoothie. How many people like smoothies? I know, it's one of my favorite foods. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut all this stuff off. We're going to slice up the aloe, the actual aloe, which is right inside of here. And then we're going to throw it into the blender with a few other fruits that you guys are very familiar with. So we're going to throw it in there with a kiwi, right here. And we're going to throw it in with a beautiful Honeycrisp apple. Honeycrisp apples are very sweet, so it's going to take over the bitterness of the aloe vera plant. So far we have the apple crisp, the Honeycrisp apple, the kiwi, the aloe, but we're also going to add a few other things. So right here I have some ice. I'm also going to add a little bit of vanilla extract, a little bit of ground cinnamon, and a little bit of my soy milk. I'm going to mix all this stuff together in the blender, and then I'm going to try it. And I can't wait to see if I like it, because if I do, then I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that you guys will like it too. And if you do, if I do, then tomorrow what we're going to do in school is make these up in the teaching kitchen. So I'll be right back to show you what I'm going to do with the apples and what I'm going to do with the kiwi and the aloe. Be right back. Alright, second graders, I'm back. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone to videotape me tonight, so I'm going to be doing this all by myself. So here I have a different layout. So I have our kiwi, I have the aloe vera plant, and I have our Honeycrisp apples. Remember, I love these Honeycrisp apples, and these kiwis are so juicy, it's going to overpower that bitterness from the aloe plant. I'm going to be right back to show you what I'm going to do with the aloe plant so we know what to do tomorrow in school. Bye! Alright, second graders, here I am again. I'm going to get pretty low so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I have my apples and my kiwi, and I'm just going to move them to the side so that I can cut open this really juicy and beautiful desert plant, the aloe vera plant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off those terrible spikes first, right along the edge. Look at those spikes. Oh my goodness. If we ate that, we would be really coughing. So we're going to take those spikes off. I'm going to take the spikes off of this side. Very carefully with my knife so I don't get hurt. You can take a look at this side too. Very cool. I'm going to put those to the side because I don't need them. And then what I'm going to do is take that last tip off. This tip right here doesn't have a whole lot of the actual aloe that you can eat in it. So I'm going to put this aside as well so I don't get that mixed up in my blender. And now I'm going to be very, very careful when I take off the outside skin of the aloe. I'm being very careful so that my fingers aren't near my knife. I'm watching it the whole time. I'm not taking my eyes off of it. Now I'm going to go above where I've already cut so that my knife can come all the way through. Look at this. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm going to try to pull the skin off so you can take a look at what's going to happen. So I'm taking this off. Did you see that? That's all the juices from the aloe. It's very, very juicy. If you take a look at the inside of this, it's very rigid. It has a lot of little thin lines. And this part right here is actually really good for sunburns and other medicine reasons. If maybe you get sick, you could take it or rub it on your skin. But look at this. This is the part we want. So I'm going to flip it over now and I'm going to get that other side off. Remembering to keep my eyes on where the knife is so I don't hurt my fingers. Almost done. Alright. And again, that really, really thick slime is coming off that good aloe that we're going to put into our smoothie. I have a little bit more green, so I'm just going to chop that off. Really making sure that my fingers stay away from the knife. Almost there, second graders. You guys are being so patient. Alright. Gets really slippery towards the end. Alright, there we go. So now I'm going to put all of the skin to the side because I don't really need that extra skin. And now what we're going to use is this gooey part in the middle. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to lift you guys up for a minute. I'm actually going to take this goo, I'm going to put it right into my blender. That's not a whole lot of aloe, so I'm going to take the rest of this goo right here. Look at this. Very cool. This is the inside of a desert plant. Oh, told you guys it was slippery. It's so slippery that when I pick it up, it slipped right out of my hands. And look at it dripping right now. So I don't want it to drip anymore. I'm going to put it right into my blender. And also on my chopping block, I have lots and lots of the kiwi and the apple. So I'm going to take these kiwis, I'm going to put it right into my blender. Just whole. Still has all that skin on it. Now I'm going to take the apples that I chopped up. I'm going to put those in there too. Remember, I'm only making this for myself, so I'm not putting a whole lot of fruits and a whole lot of kiwi and apple inside. I'm just putting enough for me. So now inside of my blender I have the apples, the kiwi, and the aloe. So now what I'm going to do is pour a little bit of my soy milk in. So I have my soy milk right here. I just took the cap off. Now I'm going to pour it inside of the blender, making sure that I look at the blender so that it doesn't fill completely up. So it filled up a little bit. That's perfect. I actually used the last of my soy milk. And now I'm going to season it. And when I season it, I actually have to put you guys down, so I hope you can see what I'm about to do. I'm trying to get the perfect angle. Alright, so I hope you guys are going to be able to see what I'm putting in. So right here, I have my ground cinnamon. So I'm going to take a little bit of cinnamon, I'm going to sprinkle it in, give it a few shakes. Perfect. And now I'm going to take a little bit of this vanilla extract. Remember, the vanilla extract and the cinnamon are going to add a little bit of sweetness to it. I love the smell of vanilla. I wish you guys were here to smell it right now. So just a little bit. Alright, so vanilla is done, ground cinnamon is done, and now I need the ice. I'm going to go to my freezer because I had to put the ice back in the freezer because ice is supposed to be frozen. Be right back. Alright, hope I didn't keep you guys waiting too long. Now I have the ice. So I'm going to take the ice and I'm going to put a few cubes of ice inside the blender with the fruit, the aloe, the ground cinnamon, the milk, and the vanilla extract. Now it is time to put on the blender. Get my lid, put my lid on, and blend. All right, so it looks ready to try. What I'm gonna do now is put the camera back down so you guys can watch and see what it's gonna taste like tomorrow. I'm gonna grab myself a little cup, walk over to my blender, take it off. Ooh, it smells really, really good. Now I'm gonna carefully take it off my blender, pour it into my cup. Oh my goodness, it smells delicious. I see the kiwi seeds, I see the apple skin, and I smell the vanilla. Are you guys ready? All right, here it goes. Oh wow. Wow, this is really, really good. I'm sorry. I can't stop drinking it. It's so good. I can't wait for you guys to try this tomorrow. I'm going to finish my smoothie. I hope all of you have a great night. Bye, guys.